Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to take a look at Miraidon Regieleki. Honestly, I found myself in not a great place playing Pokemon this week, and I'm looking to this deck to kind of get me out of it. One of the issues I've been having is decks that haven't been consistent, not setting up well. And Miraidon EX helps you set up. You usually have a very good turn one with the tandem unit ability. You can search your deck for up to two basic lightning Pokemon and put them onto your bench. And then you could even, one of those Pokemon can be another Miraidon EX, so then you can get two more down, so you can usually get your bench set up exactly the way you'd like it turn one, so your deck gets going well. I've also been having issues with seeing Lasso matchups where with the Radiant Greninja or Sableye just takes out my bench. My engine, if I'm playing the Gardevoir EX, they just take out the Curlias and such. So, and also with a lightning deck, if I have the Flaffies to accelerate energy, those get taken out too. So no Flaffies in this, only bigger HP Pokemon. I have one Radiant Greninja being the lowest HP, and that avoids even being one knocked out by Sableye in Lost Zone. So wanted something that doesn't have an engine to get obliterated, and then also something that's fairly straightforward. My decision making, since I've been busy this week, I know has been suboptimal. So basically, 2 Miraidon EX and 4 Regieleki VMAX, and then a Lumineon and the Radiant Greninja to help set things up. The Regieleki VMAX is a good attacker in and of itself with 220 for the VMAX. It can't attack the next turn. But it has free retreat, so you can usually get out of that. But it has the transistor ability, which is why it's super good here. Your basic lightning Pokemon attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So obviously it sets up the Miraidon EX, which does 220 also, but boosts that. And also you can attack with the Regieleki V if you have one of those in play. And then during your opponent's next turn with the Lightning Wall attack for 3 energy, it does 100. But then this Pokemon takes 100 less damage from attacks the next turn. So that's useful. It's very hard to knock out. It's essentially as tanky at that point as the VMAX, only 10 less HP, essentially. And it also has Switching Bolt, where you can attack, do 30, and run back to the bench. And there's a place where that has some value also. Then play 14 energy because I want a good number of energy, because the deck is relying on Electric Generator to get energy into play, right? All these attacks are mostly 3 energy ones. That's the downside to this build. I also considered initially I put in 2 Raikou Vs and just had 3 of the Regieleki VMAX line of each, but I swapped that out, got rid of the Raikous, and put in a 4/4 Regieleki VMAX line. Electric Generator, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, attach up to 2 basic lightning energy you find there to any of your benched lightning Pokemon. So a very terrific card, one that you really want pretty much in every lightning deck. Really enjoy that card. Help get the energy going and spread around. 2 EXP share to help get energy onto your other Pokemon. And then let's see what else we have here. The other tool that plays Forest Seal Stone, since I play the VMAXs and also Lumineon V, help search for 1 card, play 2 copies of that, because that's a very nice card to get in hand. 2 Beach Court, since you have these basic Pokemon, and the Miraidon EX can't attack again the next turn. You want to be able to switch that out without losing energy. 3 Rope, just to help with the switching again there. 1 Heavy Ball, just because since you only play particularly 2 of the Miraidon EX, you want to make sure you can access both of those. And again, the Regieleki VMAXs are really important, so you want to be able to access the Vs so you can evolve into the VMAXs. All right, 3 Trekking Shoes, to help search through the deck, dig through the deck a little bit. Pokemon search for Nest Ball and for Ultra Ball, as is pretty common these days. And then supporters for Serena, no boss, so just playing Serena. There's still a decent amount of V Pokemon for the Gusting, although boss, it would be better in that regard, but it does make the deck more consistent with Serena, because you also have the option to discard up to 3 cards from hand and then draw till you have 5, so a card that helps you set up as well. 4 Professor's Research just to get going, and 1 Roxanne. The deck has been working pretty well for me. Let's jump in and see how the deck does. I haven't played it a lot since making the last change, since dropping the Raikou V. I think that we'll see how that goes. The plus, like I said, to the Regieleki V, it does have the ability to search for one card, or not search for a card, but to draw one extra card when it's in the active. That's always nice. And it attacks for 2, so that's really good. Although it does less damage than the Miraidon EX, so therefore, and that's definitely a negative. It can, because of that, not do a level of damage that you're looking for. So, okay, so starting our Regieleki, that is fine. And obviously, to attack turn 1, I mean, I could actually use the first attack too. So let's see what we get here. Don't want to play the Lumineon. Might want to keep an open bench slot for it. So want to get a Miraidon. Do I want to play Radiant Greninja? That's the question. I'll put down, oh, I want Miraidon. So that's obviously what I want. Then what do I get now? So another Miraidon. I have all my Regieleki VMAXs in deck, so that's quite nice. So maybe I get greedy and I just toss down 2 more Regieleki Vs. Then I'll use my Electric Generator, which I'm happy to see that. And then it's a matter of, oh, I wasn't paying attention. I had all my VMAXs, but one of my Vs is prize. So keeping open a bench slot there. Electric Generator, I will accelerate to nothing. All right, well, that's unfortunate. I will attach to Miraidon on the bench, which is where both Miraidons are, of course. I could have attached to a Regieleki, but I prefer to attach with the Miraidon. That will get me the knockout. At this point, I might Lumineon for research next turn, assuming my hand doesn't get disrupted, and depending what I top deck, of course, too. So a Darkrai deck. We'll see how this matchup goes. From my experience, this Miraidon Regieleki deck, it's a solid deck. It's not the BDIF for sure, but it is definitely wow. Missing energy again. That stinks for sure. All right, so I'll play Lumineon. Get a research. No, not Serena. Want research. So I have both electric generators in deck. I will attach. All right, I'll attach to the Miraidon EX on the bench. It's a bit of a risk. There's a good chance. Okay, I hit. All right, so I'll use electric generator, see what happens here first, because I need to. That's very nice. So now Miraidon. Start getting my other Miraidon set up. So I'm going to use the rope. We'll see what they send up. So they have the Vroom engine, which evolves into Revavroom, which is a Pokemon I like, I gotta say. I'll get the metal sound effect in my ears. So I already have a Serena in hand, so I want to say no, and I thought I did, but I'm not. I didn't need to rope, did I? That was a big mistake there, wasn't I? Because I could have evolved, right, and then just retreated manually. I just retreated for free. So that was a mistake, because then I could have knocked out the V, right, which is what I should have done. Now I take out their ability to accelerate energies, or their draw engine, right, because they discard 1 energy, draw to 6, the Revavroom, which is a nice card. I do kind of like that. Been messing around with that in some decks this week too. Trying to, all right, let's see what happens here. So they played their Lumineon V. They're going to research. So I should not have roped. That was definitely a mistake. So they're really committed to the Dark Ray. They're playing the Temple of Sinnoh. That doesn't hurt me because I don't play anything there. So they can do 50. I don't remember what the V. I got to remember the V. What? So Dark Ray V star. It does have the V star power and ability. So they use their V-Star power, put 2 items into their hand, which is, you know, it's a strange ability, right? It's a strange ability when it doesn't really synergize with Dark Ray, right? 2 item cards. I mean, item cards are nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not a deck that's relying on a lot of item cards, right? I can't attack, though. Let's see what my prizes are. I'll get that last Regieleki into my hand. Or do I? Yeah, I do. I will get that. All right, so do I want to discard that Regieleki? I might just want to do... All right, so let me attach here. I'll attach. I'm going to go for it. Try to... I need to get an electric generator is what I need. I'll discard my hand. Bye-bye, V. It was nice knowing you. Trekking shoes. Trying to think, do I want to use trekking shoes or not? Ugh, missed it. So trekking shoes wouldn't really have helped with that. Now, am I out of electric generator already? I am. That is not great, right? Not great at all. I'll take a research for next turn. I'll toss down a Beach Court. What do I want to send up? I'll send up my V Max. I can't attack this turn with anything. I could have done 30 damage with if I had attached the Regieleki V, but I don't think that was really going to get me going. I didn't do well this game with Electric Generator, right? Honestly, it's Electric Generators have with this deck with 14 energies been working pretty well. This game is certainly below average in terms of that. So I can retreat. I can attack. I'll attack with 220, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I do 280 damage. So I will one-shot their V-Star. With that, I'll one-shot anything with Miraidon EX. They shouldn't knock out my VMAX. I'll send up the Miraidon EX without any damage on it. They might one-shot it. I don't know if they will or not, though. It's what, 30 per? I don't think they can one-shot it, so not bad there. Do I want to research? All right, so I want to EXP share to somebody, right? So I'll send him up. So he does 280. Do I want to accelerate to the V or the VMAX? I'm going to accelerate to the V. Will be my play. I'm going to research because I might want something else for next turn. That's quite nice too. EXP share. I could play down the Forest Seal Stone. I could evolve. Do I want to do, though? All right, I'm just going to do this. I could have evolved. It does 30 more damage. I don't need the extra 30. I have enough damage here as it is. And I might want to attack with the V. That's why I didn't evolve, right? The V's, especially the second attack, it does 100 damage. Now, it doesn't knock anything out with 100 damage, so I might not want to use it. But then it is tanky. It only gives up 2 prizes. right? Which could be a benefit rather than 3 from the VMAX. Certainly, if they gust up my VMAX, making it, so what are they going to? They're going to take out my VMAX. Not a surprise there. Now this time I'm going to need to play down the VMAX, and I obviously didn't get any energy accelerated that turn either. And that's, it's okay. Not ideal, so 250, but I will attach here. I will play that there. I guess I'll play Forest Seal Stone, which I don't need, I don't think. So I'll just take out the active. Yeah, I mean, you saw their expression, right? Because if I didn't have another VMAX, I would not have got the one shot. But that's just the nice thing with going to the 4/4 Regieleki VMAX. It increases the odds of getting that 280, right? And 280 really is a rather magical number, right? 270, like against these Pokemon, there's some at 280. So when you can hit 280, you can one-shot most 2-prize Pokemon. The deck does have its weaknesses. Lost Zone can be really tough with it. So my opponent might have the knockout, but honestly, even if they do, it doesn't matter. I have another Miraidon all powered up. I'll just send him up. Right? They'd really the only way, obviously, if they could knock out my VMAX, they would win. They can't do that. 270, right? So he's knocked out. Energy. Okay. Send up my EX, and I believe I just attack for game 270. And I do 280, and that should be game. So there we go. The deck works. The change of dropping the Raikus, and my opponent conceded for it, took the prize, which is okay. Although, I like to let my opponent, to me, I think it's more courteous to let your opponent take their prizes if it gets to that point, right? Like I might, if, it does benefit the opponent, they may have a challenge to draw prize, to take prize cards, in which case let them get there, occasionally you'll run into an opponent that's really plays like a jerk. I get that feeling too at times. I understand it, but want to try to give the benefit of the doubt. And we're all in this together as a community. We want to try to help each other. It doesn't mean we just roll over and lose every game, obviously, and it doesn't mean to me sitting around when you're going to lose and let your opponent make 8 plays. Like when they have their active and it's ready to knock out, if my opponent's active has the energy on and they'll knock out my active and it gives them game, I'll let them take the attack, but then I expect them to take. All right, so a Psychic Lost Zone deck. All right, so Giratina V-Star, I suppose. All right, have access to Nest Ball, have access. So they're, okay, so Arceus, so that's, all right. No Pokemon, all right. But, okay, it would have been nice to have had a basic Pokemon there. Do I want to use Trekking Shoes first, right? That's my question. All right, I will see what I hit. I think I want that in hand. Miraidon EX, get a Miraidon. Let's see what we have here. So I have 3 VMAXs in deck. So I can fill up my bench. I think I can leave an empty slot too, right? The problem right now is I don't think I'm going to have something to draw with, right? All right, I'm just going to go this way. Real turbo setup focused. Do I want? I'll attach to Miraidon. I could use the hit and run next turn on my Regieleki and end turn. Right, Beach Court certainly has value to me. Next turn, if I can get my energy on my Miraidon, I can retreat out, and then I can one-shot the Arceus. So my opponent is Colorless's Experiment. I believe I did see Psychic Energy, so I assume. We'll see what they're playing here. So, all right, I do believe Giratina Psychic, right? So Giratina, yep. So Giratina, which does big damage. So Giratina, once they get 10 in the Lost Zone, it can one-shot my VMAX because it just knocks me out. So that's a concern, but it's a lot of turns to get to that point for them, right? Because they're not playing the Lost Zone engine other than the Colorless Experiment and then Giratina's attack, the V-Star's attack. And obviously they could use Abyss Seeking also to get things going. But, you know, Arceus, they're getting 3 energy onto the Giratina V. So that should be all set up with energy to go ahead. We'll see what I draw. Not what I wanted to get, so I might as well do 30 damage. I don't see why I don't. Although I could attach to the Miraidon on the bench, right? Because the problem is I might not be able to attack next turn either. So I'm going to attach to the Miraidon EX and pass. Now this is where if I had the Raikous in deck, I would have been in better shape. Then this is the downside to dropping the Raikous. I could have, I probably would have benched a Raikou last turn, and then I would have attached 2 energies to the Raikou. I would have used Beach Court to I'm just noticing here my opponent did not attach a grass energy to their Giratina. I wasn't paying attention to that. So they have the 3 energy on Arceus. V-Star. Now, if they get a choice belt, which they might be searching for, then they knock out my Regieleki V. If they don't get that, then they don't one-shot me, right? I mean, they could retreat, of course, but I assume since they put the energy on the Arceus V-Star, they want to attack with that this turn. So they come up short on the knockout, so that's certainly not great for them. And they're going to accelerate some. They're not. Okay, I'm a bit surprised they didn't accelerate more to the Giratina, right? Because that is a bit awkward for sure. Do I want to hit into the Giratina? I think I just might. I think I do. I do 220. I do 250. I missed, but I do miss the knockout, right? So maybe. All right, I'm going to discard that. Since I don't have knockout this turn, I decided to make that my play. That's what I will say. All right, so that's quite nice too. So let me get a VMAX into hand. So the research would have been nice, but I want to be able to one-shot the Arceus, which I can now do. I'll leave that Regieleki with not a lot of HP, no energy. What do I want to do here? Do I want to? I'll just attack. I was thinking, do I want to get like an EXP share? I still have my Forest Seal Stone, of course. I can't attack with Miraidon next turn. I'm gonna get my Miraidon probably just gets knocked out, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens here. I could, it's possible that I do get the that I can one-shot the Giratina this next turn also. I assume they're going to take, they kind of need to take out my Miraidon with the energy. You see, they're going down to 1 energy, so now they have a problem attacking next turn, which is why I'm surprised that they did not use Arceus when they attack with Arceus before to accelerate more energy to the Miraidon. I assume they have that energy, but obviously I don't know that. So I will take that energy gladly. I will put an EXP share there. I'll put a Forest Seal Stone there. Don't get confused with when I go to retreat. All right, Electric Generator, so a big play here. I got my energy, so I have knockout, so now this goes quite nicely. So I will retreat, send him up. Let me keep setting things up for the rest of the game. There's not a reason not to continue set up. And I will attack. So my opponent really is in bad shape here. Right? It's a V attacking deck, I assume. So they don't really have a quality attacker next turn. Now, right now, my ability to attack next turn, that's the tricky part, right? That's the other plus to the Raikou. You can stream attacks with it. But with Raikou, I would not have gotten the one-shot with the Raikou. So, see what happens here. So if I could get a Serena next turn. What have I done? I've played 1 so far. The deck plays... Oh, I played 4 in this list, huh? I didn't... Okay, I was thinking I played 3. Even better. So I'm guaranteed to have Serena in my deck. But I have to be able to attack, right? So... And I want to attack for knockout, I gotta say, right? So I'll have to decide what I do here. I guess the reason for that is if I use rope to switch, which I do play rope in the deck, right? I can't rope. Actually, I can get a rope. That's right. So I want a rope. I played what 3 escape rope. So I have rope in deck guaranteed. I can Forest Seal Stone for rope, and then I can retreat back in. So there we go. So the deck is doing a good job getting me out of my Pokemon blues, not having any good games, and able to win. It's a very straightforward deck, obviously. As with any straightforward deck, there's not a straightforward deck that wins all the time. It has its bad matchups. It can brick some too, but it's a pretty consistent deck. It works more than not, and there are bad matchups out there, but you're not going to run into them all the time. So if you're just struggling with Pokemon, just can't find a deck to really work for you for the moment, this is a good deck to try, and it might make you feel good about Pokemon again and yourself. Take care.